Buddy Rogers in his matches from time to time will do this duck under, or did, I should say, in past tense. He would do this duck under to a head and arm grip, which we moderns would say resembled a standing arm triangle. And we've seen people tap out in the UFC, particularly when they're up against the cage, to standing arm triangles. Um, the standing arm triangles are also very often shown in different self-defense curriculum in different martial arts. But what Buddy Rogers is doing here with it, rather than obtaining a tap from or like getting the guy to say uncle from this head and arm, he's using it as the takedown, which more commonly is what a lot of wrestlers will use that grip for. A little duck under, a drag down. But then once Buddy Rogers actually has him down, he does a rear naked choke, but with an old school kind of grip. Like you see a lot of old judo guys do this as one of their grips. And you'll see this grip appear elsewhere in some old style grappling. And it's not that old catch wrestling didn't have the exact same rear naked choke grip and configuration that we still see in UFC. As a matter of fact, we do. You can go all the way back to an 1850s catch wrestling manual that shows an exact rear naked choke from standing. That's the exact same rear naked choke you still see in the UFC. But a lot of guys were also doing this alternate grip. And in particular, if they weren't actually trying to choke their guy out because they were doing this for entertainment and theatrical value, of course, they would make it looser rather than tighter. Having said that, that same exact grip, when you exercise it just a little tighter, can still be a perfectly valid grip. And some people even advocate for those alternate grips because it can be harder for the other guy to peel individual fingers, particularly if you use your head on the other side in place of some of the pressure that would be introduced in the grip that we're more used to. So if Buddy Rogers was to lower his head a little bit more, some other guys, including some catch wrestlers like Neil Millinson, actually show some other rear naked choke variations that have a lot in common with exactly where this match ends up. So this is definitely still real world valid. If that grip was just a little tighter rather than being intentionally loose for entertainment value, you'd basically be able to drop this entire sequence almost verbatim into a modern grappling situation, except this is a little bit more like entertainment and even a little bit more like how we might show someone from a self-defense scenario to do rear naked choke rather than going down and putting their hooks in. Because in self-defense, when you go to the street, you put your hooks in, you're suddenly limiting your ability to get up in case someone else comes by. Whereas if you do the crouching rear naked choke, you don't get quite the same level of control as you would with hooks, but you have the mobility just in case someone else comes that you can get right back to your feet and exit as quickly as possible. So there's a lot about this that is very valid, even if it has some slightly different flavors than what we're used to seeing in the modern situation.